the antelope on our reserve. Now the greater kudu. Those were females. You can tell that they're females because they did not have giant horns twisting out of their head. Now right over here, hiding out in the bushes on our left-hand side, is a bongo. If you guys can see, it's a dark brown antelope. There's a few more on the left, and there's one out in the open on the right as well. Now bongos' nicknames are the ghosts of the forest. They use their bodies to camouflage themselves and hide in bushes just like they did back there. Now bongos, when they run through the forest and they tilt their head backwards, they can be absolutely silent. And on top of that hill right over there is a black rhino. Black rhinos can get up to 3,000 pounds each. They are solitary animals, meaning that they are by themselves. Now sadly, black rhinos are critically endangered because they're poached every day for their horns. Their horns have something called keratin in them. Now keratin is the substance that's found in our fingernails and in our hair. Villagers in Africa use keratin by ingesting it for medicinal purposes. So sadly, they're being poached for something that we already have an abundance of, but just didn't understand how to utilize. So we're gonna head out of this Ituri forest and towards the Safi River. Actually a very rare sight to see a hippo out of the water. Now that's a Nile hippopotamus. You can tell that that's a Nile hippopotamus because it's a hippo. Now most of the time, they'll spend the majority of their day underwater. So this is pretty rare to see, especially during the day. They're nocturnal, so they normally do that and eat at night. Now a bloat of hippos is a group of hippos. Now this is a normal sight to see. They're completely submerged underwater. A hippo can hold their breath up to 8 minutes at a time. Now these white birds are called pink-back pelicans. Pink-back pelicans get their names because their backs turn pink during mating season. They have a very long wingspan. If they open their wings from tip to tip, it would be 6 feet long. Now, on our left-hand side, in the water, are Nile crocodiles. Now, Nile crocodiles will conserve their energy for the majority of the day. Now, when a crocodile opens its mouth and closes it, when it closes with 2,000 pounds of pressure per square inch. Now, per square inch is the most important part of that sentence because that's bone-crushing pressure in just one bite. Now, on our right-hand side up here, I'd like to make a pit stop at this tree. Now, this tree is called the African baobab tree. Now, the baobab tree is also known as the upside-down tree because its branches look like it could be its roots. Now, 9 months out of the year, this tree will remain leafless to conserve water. It's very important that trees can conserve water and then sustain themselves off of that water because the climate is so hot and so dry. So we're going to make our way towards the savannah. Savannah is my favorite portion of the entire reserve. On our left-hand side, hiding out in the back, it's a pack of African wild dogs. I'm gonna pull a little bit forward so you guys can see them. Now, African wild dogs are the most successful predator in the animal kingdom, having a 90% success rate. African wild dogs are known for their high endurance and will use their endurance to physically and mentally exhaust their prey. Now, that animal I pointed out to you guys earlier, the sable antelope, is right over there on our left-hand side. Now, the sable antelope has those horns that go straight up and straight back. They use them to protect themselves. If a giant animal were to attack them from behind, that's how they would protect themselves. 20 hours out of the day. They only sleep for 30 minutes in 5-minute increments. Giraffes will eat, sleep, and give birth standing up. First thing that baby giraffe will learn is the law of gravity. It's a 6-foot drop to the ground. And right in front of that truck, in front of us, is a giraffe in the road. So we're going to stay here and look at these giraffes for a little longer. Now, if you see that giraffe eating right next to us, giraffe's tongue can get up to 20 inches long. You see a herd of elephants. They will be female and they're young. Although bachelor herds do exist, they are very rare. Now, the Disney Conservation Fund started the Save the Elephants and the Bees project to stop the poaching of elephants in Africa because of their fear of bees. So they figured out a way to make a security beehive fence around the crops so the elephants would run away from the crops instead of towards them. Now, if you guys look on the discoloration of their body on top, that's what I'm talking about with them covering their bodies. They use their trunks to drink, eat, and cover their bodies. Look at that. It's like taking a mini shower. They really will do as much as possible to cool down their bodies. Now, right here on our left-hand side is a flamboyance of flamingo. Now, flamingos are actually born gray. They turn pink because of the shrimp that they eat, having something called beta carotene in it. Right even with my shoulders where I'm pointing. Now, cheetah's the fastest animal on our reserve and actually the fastest land animal in the world. They can run 60 miles an hour in just 3 seconds.
Do you see the fence? Yeah, you see it? Look, do you see it? See him?
As we make this turn on our left-hand side are some white rhinos. Now, white rhinos get their name from the Afrikaans word "wide," which means wide, talking about how wide their mouths are. Now, we actually just celebrated World Rhino Day about last week, about a week ago.
There they go.
Celebrating the conservation of rhinos all over the world. We're about to celebrate this rhino being in the middle of the road. Keep going. Good girl. Now, white rhinos cover their bodies in mud to help protect their skin from the sun. White rhinos can get up to 5,000 pounds each. They can charge at 35 miles an hour. Right here on our right-hand side are two animals. There's an ostrich on the left-hand side, and there's two zebras. Now, zebras are black with white stripes. You can tell that they're black with white stripes because they have black noses. Now, just like human fingerprints, no two zebra stripes will be the same. They're identical to the zebra. Now here are two female ostriches on our left-hand side. I can tell they're female because they have gray feathers. Male ostriches would have black feathers. Ostriches are the largest and fastest birds alive, running at 40 miles an hour. Now if you guys look on the ground, those are ostrich eggs. Ostrich eggs can get about 3 pounds each. Take about 2 months to hatch. Female ostriches on our left-hand side. I can tell they're female because they have gray feathers. Male ostriches would have black feathers. Ostriches are the largest and fastest birds alive, running at 40 miles an hour. Now if you guys look on the ground, those are ostrich eggs. Ostrich eggs can get about 3 pounds each. Take about 2 months to hatch.